All right, it's another Chew Quieter. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm sore. I've been working on my yard. First time homeowner, so I wasn't really prepared for what was to come.
Hey, all of a sudden you turn into a Mexican.
I wasn't expecting this type of culture shock.
Oh yeah, it's a huge culture shock. Let's see. I'm on house number 4 or 5 now, and I had 20 years of being a Mexican.
The first thing that we wanted to do was rip out the plants in the front. It was a brand new build, and uh, the general contractor just naturally put these little bushes and ferns and whatnot in the front, and they're spider collectors basically. And
Mm,
we didn't want them there. So first thing we wanted to do was rip those out and replace it with just rock, just zero scape
mm.
type stuff. So the first thing that we did that in the front, and it wasn't horrible. Um, it led us to believe that we could probably do the same thing to the backyard. The front lawn, we ordered a half cubic yard of rock, and it was
That's
perfect. That's all we needed,
okay.
and which isn't too much. It's about a bucket full of from a loader, right?
Yes, a small bucket. So typically, two buckets gives you the cubic foot.
Yeah. So we want now to start working on the backyard, and we put in a fence. And once we put the fence in, we're like, okay, let's make it pretty, and let's line the fence with rock and the house with rock. So we put what they call Alabama Sunset Mini Rock. They almost look like jelly bellies. They're kind of cool.
Hmm.
But we lined the house on the backside with it 2 foot wide, and on the fence line. And
Okay.
now we want to put the sod. So, God, we try to find someone to do it for us. We try to find a Mexican to do the damn thing for us, and we couldn't find one. There were no Mexicans to be found in my area to do the landscaping that we needed. All the landscapers that are in my area just do simple grass mowing and edging, that sort of thing. So we wanted to put edging with the rock,
Hmm.
and we're kind of on a time crunch with the sod because it's you have to do it at the right time. So the wife and I decided, let's just do it ourselves.
Oh, famous last words.
Yeah. And it was fine at first because there wasn't too much to do. The edging was a no dig edging, and we put that down, and then we ordered the rock, and we realized that's a lot of rock.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, that's five yards worth of rock, 5 cubic yards worth of rock. So it gets here, and it gets here, and he unloads it. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of rock. He's like, yeah, I'll be right back for the second load. I was like, oh fuck, I think I might have ordered too much. And so it took the wife and I about a full day and a half to move rock from the front driveway to the backyard in a just a wheelbarrow. So
Yeah,
that
sounds about right.
yeah, it was okay. So my knees are shot. Throughout all the years of playing sports, throughout all the years of running up mountains with the camera, my knees are shot. My back is shot. My shoulders are shot. So
Hmm.
doing all this manual labor, I wanted to shoot myself.
Yes, that'll happen to you. And I like to say it gets easier, but it didn't. It's never gotten easier. First house, let's see, I was 32, 33 when we bought our first house. And it wasn't so bad. I'd get up and be sore the next day and could go to work and be okay. Now I do that much work, and 3 days later, I'm sitting here walking crooked and looking for a
Mm-hmm.
cane and trying to find a wheelchair, and it's nuts. And then someone's dumb idea to move on to an acre property. I don't know who thought of that. It's stupid. And it's dirt, so all of a sudden we move in. There's dirt just blowing everywhere. So I was like, all right, we'll just throw rock down. Well, I think I'm 280 tons of rock
Oh my God.
that we've put down in this property to keep the dust down.
That's insane.
Yeah. Luckily, the tractor's been around, so the tractor makes life easy for sure. But still, there's only so much that the tractor will spread before you have to go out there and shovel and rake and smooth it out yourself.
Well, how much is compacted over time?
Oh yeah. And then I just put another 20 tons on the driveway because we're getting a little settlement on the driveway for everyone driving up and parking on the side driveway. So I have a concrete driveway that goes into the garages, and then on the side of that, I have it's a quarter minus gravel that's on the side driveway that goes into the RV gate. So my daughter parks her Jeep on there. My other daughter parks her car in there. Guests all come in and park on that side. Usually the trailer parks there or the trucks are on there. So it just gets used a lot, and it compacted down about 2 inches lower than the driveway when I was out there about 2 months ago. So I ordered another 20 tons and spread it out, and just to get it back up the line. So that's 3 years.
That's good to know, because I was going to add another 2 feet to my driveway width-wise, so I can park my truck on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to just do the pea gravel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it. I was like, well, it's already kind of low on that side. I'm sure over time it's just going to keep getting lower. So I started to get estimates for just pouring concrete.
Yeah, your best bet for if you're going to park on it constantly, do concrete down there or some sort of solid surface. The rock will just start to go away after a while.
Not only that, but it was not something that I wanted to do again. I did not want to remove rock again. And the soil here sucks. It's clay, and there's a lot of rock under this clay. Yeah. And our builder, for whatever reason, decided whatever excess concrete they had from our slab pour, they broke up into chunks and scattered in the yard.
Yeah.
So we're finding chunks of concrete blocks here and there, and it's just like, what in the fuck?
Yeah, that's typical. We're the same way. It's that's that hard clay out here in this area, and I bought a jackhammer to plant trees. Because just like you, there's no Mexicans to hire. So I got to be Mexican.
It's crazy. In that state, there aren't any to hire. Probably just in your area.
Well, yeah, in this area, I'm sure there are in the state, but way out here, there's no Home Depot. I mean, we just got the Home Depot that's 5 minutes away. A couple months ago, it opened. So for years when we were building out here, there's been no Home Depot anywhere near us.
So the brown people haven't figured out that one yet.
Yeah, they're not this way. They all have jobs out this way. They'll get brought in for jobs. So,
you'll know when they figure it out when all of a sudden the taco trucks show up and the taquerias and the other meat markets that are just in Spanish.
We have some of those, but they're still 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away.
All we have is a Lowe's, but I'm in a small town, rural. I wouldn't say it's rural because we're only 30 minutes from another big city, but we're limited where I'm at as far as materials and supplies go. We have a Tractor Supply and a Lowe's, and that's it.
Yeah, that's how it's been. It was out here for a while. It's getting a little better now, but still, it's travel, paying for deliveries and stuff like that happening all the time.
Mm-hmm. And I've actually been doing double duty because I finally figured out how to set up my office. And before I had it with just some tables with legs on it, and I wanted the whole time I've envisioned a floating desk. So that's what I've built, and that's actually why we didn't record last week, because everything was torn apart and my office was just a mess, and it's still kind of a mess. No one can see the mess right now on camera, thank God. But Yeah, brand new speaker monitors, brand new monitors, brand new keyboard. Mic is the same, camera is the same. My desk gun is the same, but yeah, everything else is brand new. Ready to get this thing rocking because my idle mind can cause havoc on me and others.
Yeah, of course.
I need to get busy.
Yeah, so yeah, I did some rearranging in my office to try to get a better space here. I think I have a something that's going to fit about here that I'm working on that I showed you a preview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be cool.
So I got that cut and started to glue it together yesterday, and I did the primer on one of the layers. So maybe, well, not the next one because it'll be 4th of July week, and I got to get truck ready to go to Elevated Experience in Washington.
I'm jealous.
Come on. Fly out,
don't tell me just come on, because you know I will.
There's plenty of seats available.
It's a matter of time for me. I just haven't had a lot of time lately.
Yeah,
I have The thing that really sucks is I have tons of vacation time for work, and it's just racking up every week. My vacation time is just accumulating, and I don't have anything planned to use it, which really sucks.
But you got a new house, so it'll be used for that.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of projects that we want to do, but I think we're going to save a bulk of them for like 5 years. That way we have stuff to do. Because I think if we just knock it all out right now, I might end up tearing down a wall just because I'm fucking bored or something. And who knows what.
I see no problem with that.
But I am excited for the 4th this year because it's, like I said, the first time I'm owning a house. And it's the first time I'm not in an apartment restricting me from lighting fireworks.
Did you do any shopping yet?
I've already bought $200 worth, which is not very much.
Yeah, it's like 4 sparklers now.
No, I got a 3-minute grand finale box, and then I got a whole bunch of other stuff. But
yeah, the 3-minute grand finale is like $80.
It was $110.
It was $110. Okay, jeez.
Yeah,
I forgot Biden's America. Built back better.
Inflation. Yeah, the gunpowder industry is reveling right now in the inflation costs. But yeah, my sister-in-law is in town, so we're gonna probably just barbecue in the front. And I live in a cul-de-sac. So we're probably just going to block off the street and just shoot them off right at the end of the street.
Yeah, you met your neighbors, hang out with the neighbors.
Yeah,
that's a good time, man. When you have good neighbors, it makes things fun for, especially if you're away from family, where you're going to do holidays that are you typically have with your family. Then hanging with your neighbors and stuff like that, doing block parties is pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun way to get away from it.
My neighbor directly next to me is they're a young couple. He's a detention center officer. I don't want to say the facility name or anything, but he's retired Navy. Mm-hmm. And a friend of ours, Sean Palestrani, did the exact same thing this guy did. He's a gunner. So I was like, you're one of those crazy fuckers, aren't you? He's like, yeah. Just like Sean, crazy motherfucker.
Funny you mentioned Sean. I went fishing last week in San Diego, and then I told you we're doing that hero trip in August. So Sean's been like, okay, what'd you catch? How was the fishing? What do we got to do? How we get this done? So him and I back and forth like all week, like getting ready for the trip to go to San Diego. So that's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna get back on the 10th, and he's like, spend the night. We'll go to the gas lamp. We'll get drunk and hang out and go have a good time. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be sleepy. What are you talking about? Going to get drunk. I'm gonna come back, have a beer, and just pass out after 2 days of being on a boat.
Be careful with that guy. He likes to walk around. If he's comfortable with you, he will walk around naked with his dick just hitting his thighs as he's walking. And you have to tell him to put clothes on. You can ask Chambliss. He was there. Rob Ryan was there. Matt Loxley was there. just walking around with his dick out. Just, hey, Sean, nice hog, but can you put some clothes on?
This will be fun.
Yeah. So when is the trip to the Pacific Northwest?
We leave on the 10th from just outside of Yakima. So I'll drive up on the 8th next Saturday. I'll start driving up. So it'll be 2 days drive to get up there. I think it's Will and Jenna and I think Chambliss. Maybe Jenna. I don't know if Jenna's coming. I believe Jenna's coming.
Nice.
But they're going to the Overland Expo Pacific Northwest, which is the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then they close down. So, and they're just out of Bend or Richmond, Washington is where they're going to be at. So they have a Airbnb up there. So I'll drive up and meet them at the Airbnb on Sunday. Monday we'll get up, drive 3 hours to Yakima, and then start filming and doing the Elephant Experience then.
Nice. We'll get back to that, but really quick, did you see what happened with Airbnb lately?
No.
They're losing money hand over fist. Like 47% profits are down.
No.
So I guess there's people finally realizing that a $200 cleaning fee, $100 key fee, a $200 fee if you leave something floating in the hot tub. People are realizing that these ridiculous fees by these Airbnbs are adding up. By the time your booking fee says it's $49 for the night, but by the time you're done with all these other fees, it equates to over $170 for the night.
Yeah.
So people are finally realizing this, and they're saying, you know what? Fuck Airbnb. I'm going to stay at a hotel where it's cheaper, where I don't have to take the linens off of the bed, where I don't have to take the towels off the rack and wash them. I don't want to be a servant on vacation.
Yeah, and it's for a while. I weigh that, like we're looking at it, going, okay, if it's 2-3 people, well, you can go in a hotel, but okay, it'd be nicer to have a house where you had stuff to do and a kitchen. But then when you look at costs, I'm like, okay, it's going to cost me about double to get a kitchen. I don't need a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So you say no.
It's nice, but you don't need it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going with a bigger group with a larger house, like we do Pigeon Forge with a big group of people, it makes more sense. But you can't find very many places out there anymore. It's just like a private rental cabin. They're all through an agency, and even if you're not going through Airbnb or VRBO or Vacasa or one of those apps, the fees are still there. Like it's like ridiculous. Like, come on. I think the house had a $250 cleaning fee last year. Like they came and cleaned for all of 40 minutes. So
yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, I can definitely see people starting to get smart and wanting to change how they're doing things. And I think more of the private rentals are going to come back, hopefully a little cheaper, a little more reasonably cost.
See, if we just kept around the penny saver, we wouldn't have this issue.
Yeah, I know. Penny saver and Craigslist went down, and everything else goes behind it.
But let's get back to the expedition really quick. How did it all start? Like, I know it was just something that Chambliss kind of wanted to. He just wanted to take a trip, right? And then it just kind of evolved into what it is now.
Yeah, so we had been talking about for probably 2-3 years doing some sort of trip with us. I think JP tried to do one with a trip to South Dakota that was more of like a field trip type of thing, and then more of these off-road field trips and stuff like that started to happen. So it was beginning of the year last year. Will and Chambliss were like, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna start going for this, and get on this, and they put it together. And it's funny is that, okay, you got to come, telling me. I'm like, well, why do I have to come? I'm not part of a company. I'm not part of anything. No, you just have to come. You got to come and be part of the movie and be part of the experience, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So he came over. Then I was like, shuttling around the media guys, and the truck was like slingshotting media guys, and it was kind of the central place for all the media stuff that happened, chargers and batteries and stuff like that happened, to be stored in my truck. So it was just like the truck would just take off, come back, take off, come back, take off, come back, and then just so we get people in the media side in place for the video. So
Chase truck.
Yeah, chase truck, camera chase truck. Yep.
Yeah.
So the video from the first year went live last week before last, and Will was saying that they have about 21,000 views in about a week. Yeah, so check it out on YouTube, The Elevated Experience. It's a cool video. It's not super long. Really cool about the adventure that we took in Colorado last year. We started in Moab. Drove into Colorado all on back roads. The trail that leaves Moab that goes into the back to the western end of Colorado, into a little farm town. Then into Ouray, Silverton, Telluride, and then back out to Montrose area for the day, and then when we ended up somewhere outside of Grand Junction at the end of the trip.
That was the funny thing is, when I first heard about that trip, Travis asked me if I was available to film it, and I was just wrapping up another trip where I was filming in the same damn area. We started in oh God, I can't remember now. Old person brain. But it was in Colorado. We started in Colorado and then moved our way down south into Moab. Reversal of kind of what you guys did.
Okay.
But cool. It looked like you guys had more fun than I did.
Who'd you go with?
Johan Cardenas.
Okay.
From Go
So
Mammoth.
it was just filming for his company stuff?
Yeah. Great people, really nice people, fun group. It was just, a majority of them were newbies. And I didn't feel some of these people should have, this shouldn't have been their first trail. Some of these trails, like Black Bear.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you were in Black Bear Pass, I mean, you should be kind of seasoned. It can be fun, but if you're not prepared for it, or you have any aversion to heights, it can be a shit starter.
Yeah. So what ended up happening was I had to put the camera down and drive down a few people's rigs on some obstacles on Black Bear. I also had to walk someone down the trail because they couldn't drive it down. So it was a little frustrating for me just because I'm used to filming events and people that are more experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I had to really bite my tongue a lot and not express my frustration because I'm on a job. So like I said, all the participants were troopers. For a lot of them being the first time out like that, I commend them for doing it. I mean, it's not easy to overcome that fear. I mean, we saw on American Crawlers, Travis and Will. Oh, they're seasoned, and that took a lot out of them mentally.
And neither one of them like heights. So yeah. So you get on that loop, and it'll mess with your head if you have an aversion to heights. I'm kind of lucky. I don't have that. If I get on a building and I walk to the side and I look over, I can get a little queasy here and there, but it's nothing that's terrifying and chilling my spine and make me want to turn around and go away. I just like, oh, that was weird. Okay,
Yeah.
let's try that again.
Yeah. So like same for me. If we're on top of the world and I look over the edge, I get that butterfly feeling. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, that's enough. I saw what I needed to see. I'll walk away. If I'm
Yeah.
in a tall building, I used to work on the 20th floor in the skyscraper, or what, I don't know if that's considered a skyscraper, but it was the 20th floor in a high rise. And
In
just looking
Denver,
down, yeah, when I lived in
in
Denver.
a city that has a lot of wind,
Yeah.
so the building does this constantly.
So looking down even from there would kind of give me the little swirlies.
Hmm.
But for whatever reason, on Black Bear Pass or any other like Imogen, any other high pass road, I don't get that feeling or that mental block.
Hmm.
And I think it's just because I know for a fact there's still some ground under me somewhere.
There's still a little bit.
It's
There's
just
a
sloped.
possibility I might be able to grab something and hold
Yeah.
on.
Um,
But, so,
I can't explain how it makes me feel two different ways.
mhm.
It's essentially the same height, but on a different platform.
Yeah. And I like I said, it's the same thing. I get that little butterfly, and it's not that terror. I see people like walk out there. I think Jake, the first year we took Jake to Top of the World, and he sat up on there. I think there was one of the Mob Moabs, and we're up at that at the overlook past not Top of the World,
Oh,
Cliffhanger. It was Cliffhanger. It was Cliffhanger. It was
Yeah.
out at the top when we sat out there, and he was just like holding on to for dear life. Like that is like a feeling I don't ever have. I've never had that. I get the little swirly butterfly. I go, okay, that was a little weird. That doesn't feel right. I'm feeling like you have that little motion. I'm like, okay, but I don't ever have that terror, that internal body terror like that. And I couldn't imagine what that feels like, and it doesn't make sense to me because I don't have that reaction.
I wish we can just call up some doctor right now and be like, can you explain to us what it is that triggers this in people that have this feeling in their stomach from their eyeballs looking at something that's terrifying? Like what is it in the stomach that gives us this feeling?
Yeah, and some people don't even have to be at the edge. You have to
Yeah.
just see the edge. To see the edge, just be close to the edge, and then they're like, no, don't go there.
Were you there that year where Ali Benai was on top of the world and she was walking out and her knees were literally shaking? Her was it even Ali? I think it was
I
Ali.
don't know.
But her legs were buckling. She couldn't even walk because Alex had drove his Jeep out onto that edge already, and she couldn't really. She didn't want to get out,
Couldn't you get out there? Yeah.
but she wanted to get out because she's on the ledge. So there was a total mindfuck going on between the fear of her getting out of the Jeep and falling off the ledge, and the ledge falling off with the Jeep on it.
With her in it. Yeah, double-edged sword there. How do I get out of this or do that? Yeah.
I think it was Allie. Because she's terrified of.
That was probably one of the BFG trips you were on.
Yep.
I don't think I.
You were there that year, weren't you? No, your first year was St. George.
Oh, was that, yeah, was it for the Patriot Crawl? Or not Patriot Crawl. Crawl America.
Yes.
I gotta always think because I always say American crawlers, but I mean Crawl America.
There's so many.
Patriot Crawl and Patriot Crawl wraps in there somehow, and like okay.
That's the one thing about the off-road industry that I've really become a really just cringe worthy of is all the unoriginality that's based in it. Every event is a Jeep jam or fest. It's either a jam or a fest. Can't you think of something else?
An invasion.
I mean, invasion's cool. That's the only one that I've seen that's different, and that's cool. I give them the props. As much as I don't appreciate the event, and let me reverse this. As much as I don't like the event, I appreciate the event. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a trade show. It's not necessarily a Jeep event. It's not a place to go and wheel, and like it's not Moab. And
Mhm.
I think we get used to having something like Moab become like, okay, that's what it has to be, a week of wheeling and then 2 days of a show, and that's what an event should be. But um, there's no wheeling there. It's all in town, and the draw is at especially Smoky Mountain, is that you're in Pigeon Forge. You're right in the middle of everything. Dollywood's down there. All of the entertainment that is at your fingertips there. Up the hills, Gatlinburg. So um, we've had this conversation with the vendors and stuff before, and one of the reasons that event is so popular is that one day Dad gets to go do Jeep stuff. The rest of the weekend, the kids get to go play and do whatever. They get to go to Dollywood. They go play up the mountain. They take the ski lift. They walk across the bridge. They go up to the petting zoo at that German thing that goes up the mountain. I don't know what that thing's called.
Why can't I remember anything?
Yeah, it's like a giant freaking thing that goes up there, and
they have it at Disneyland. People Mover, not the People Mover.
Yeah, but it has a name. It's like some German or some sort of alpine gondola name. Yeah, it's like a gondola that goes up there, but it has a name. I don't know the name of it is, but all of that is there. The Wax Museum's up there. The Ripley's, believe it or not. So it's kind of everything for everybody. So if you're going to have a vacation with a family and you can involve a day going to see Jeep stuff, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so popular.
The thing that got to me was outside of the event, there was a different Jeep show going on. And it was a beauty contest. See which Jeep is the prettiest. And the Jeep that was the prettiest had the most ducks on it. And I was just like, this is fucking gross. Like, okay, I think the one that was being gagaed over the most had probably every single page from the Quadratech catalog. And it was considered to be the nicest one there, without these people realizing, A, it doesn't have quality parts, and B, none of them are functional.
But it looks good.
But it looks good. It's pretty. It's got all the lipstick you can have. It's got all the lights you can have.
4 shovels.
4 shovels.
No
lockers.
Everything you need for an adventure, except for the adventure.
Yeah, and his tires are the best because those are the tires that those are the only tires that he's ever had, and those are the best tires.
Yeah.
And ARB is the best, despite all the lines that he's broken, filling up his tires. Why did I get started on this?
I guess we're not getting a sponsorship from ARB now.
Already broken?
Already killed the sponsor. Damn it.
I mean, they make some good stuff. It's just I don't think their air compressor is very good. It's good for lightweight stuff, but for I don't think it's very good for air lockers, for as many as I've seen break. Shout out to ARB.
Dead. Sponsorship. Okay, cross off. Let me cancel that email I sent it to ARB for sponsorship dollars.
So who's next? Let's talk about UConn now. Then. Shout out to UConn. I have nothing bad to say about them.
So I have this nice Orca glass that has a little whale tail on the top. It's actually pretty cool. Got this at the last Elevated Experience.
Nice. Pretty cool. Was he giving those away?
Yeah, we had orchids in a bunch of different type cups to give to the participants.
Nice. Okay, maybe I really did make a mistake not going.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it again this year. Pacific Northwest, gonna be fun. 5 days through Washington. Um, Smaller group this time, so we're gonna actually have more of the experience side of it.
Nice.
I'm been mad searching, trying to find a 2-piece fishing pole to take with me. Well, all my fishing poles are 1 piece, and I have to pack a little smaller because I'm sleeping in the truck. I gotta take my spare in the truck. And I'm like, shit. And all the gear and stuff that goes with it. So I'm just like, okay, my fishing pole is gonna break in the back. I'm not taking one of my good poles, so I'm trying to go find a crappy 2-piece pole to use for this trip.
Who else is going?
Who else is going? So Will's taking his Bronco. Chambliss is taking his Raptor. Me and the Ram. Tanner from Rockside is bringing the red Gladiator, I believe.
Tanner.
Jose will be doing the filming again.
Nice.
Josh. Josh lives up in the Pacific Northwest. Josh is off-road go-kart on Instagram. He was out last year and he did a lot of the stills and drone for us. So he mapped out the route for this year. So he'll go out and help with the photography and the drone and stuff like that, and then also help lead. Last year, Corey led through all the backside of Colorado because that's all Corey's backyard out there outside of Montrose and through that area.
Shout out to Corey.
Yeah, and feel better, buddy. With saw you get some cancer taken off the face today. So.
What?
Yeah, he has skin cancer up in between his
oh no,
in his forehead here, and he got it taken off. So he's got this big old cut out of here that he's got to recover from. So luckily he got it. Hopefully they get it all taken care of and get the recovery and cut it out, recover, and go on with your day. But it's just that reminder that take care of your body. Go to the doctor.
It was an outpatient thing. I hope not something he had to stay over for. And
I don't know. I don't know the extent. I needed to reach out to him. I hadn't done that today. I've been trying to get stuff done here. So I hadn't reached out to him yet, but I gotta give him a shout and see what it was. But yeah, it looks like it's just an outpatient. They scraped, they cut it out and got him out, and he's hopefully getting to recovery and get there. But he's like a freaking encyclopedia for all of the stuff out there in that region of Colorado. And he's like over the radio telling us stuff about the farm that was on the left as we drove by. I'm like, how do you know this?
He is a valuable commodity to off-road.
Yeah.
And I say commodity because he is so many things. He's a friend to many. He's a historian. He's in my mind, the guy is almost a legend. I mean, he's been around for a long time. Metal, obviously everyone knows him as the Metal Cloak RTI ramp operator. But he's way more than that.
Yep.
He's an ambassador to so many companies. He's a steward of the land. The guy is just an awesome guy.
Yeah, and previous to Metal Cloak, he worked with other off-road companies, so he has a history of knowing and being there in different capacities throughout his career and through life, and even before going into off-road, like his stories of being in business life through Ouray and that area, just going on the real estate side and working that for years. It's like it's created all this knowledge that kind of combines itself together, because we go to the city to relax and do stuff, but then we go on the road and he's kind of got like all this mixed up knowledge in there that it's like, first of all, how do you remember it?
He remembers because he loves it. He remembers because he loves it. It's just like someone that collect baseball cards back in the day. that's how they remembered all these stats, is because they love baseball so much. They love this card, this baseball player. Oh my God, Ken Griffey Jr. 1989 upper deck card. The back of it said he's got 30 home runs, 92 RBIs. But I mean, that's just how he is. He's passionate about what he does.
Oh no, it's great. I feel bad for myself because I can't remember shit.
Neither can I.
And I love stuff, and I'm like, I don't remember that. No, I don't remember. I'm like,
yeah,
shit. I know I love this. What did I do with that? How did I do this before? What did I do with this? Can't remember. So,
but I think
good for you, Corey.
yeah, I think the key to you guys having a successful trip though is having those locals. I think that is going to be key for just about anyone that puts together an event where there is traversing different areas. Even when we went to South Dakota, we had a local, Josh Huntley. Josh Huntley is a native to that land, and just knows the Black Hills like the back of his hand. So
yeah, and that's it's a whole different animal when you go with someone that knows that. I mean, anywhere, anything you do, it's first time even going to Hawaii. I went on a business trip, but I was gone for a long time, and one of the reps for the company that I was going to help was in Hawaii all the time, and that was like his love was the island. So he took us always like back road places. I mean, he taught us things and foods and activities and stuff that aren't really on part of the tourist side of it, but it's made the trip so much better to have that insight and someone that knew that much about it and could kind of guide you through it. I mean, we walk up and down streets, we walk down hallways and went into elevators that no one even knew was an elevator, and went up to this place and just hung out in this bar. I'm like, just like a place to go do. And then he's like, yeah, all the tourists head out and they close off about this time, but then wait about a half an hour and then this starts. And it's just like this, that stuff, like that inside stuff is very helpful.
Yeah.
It makes things way better to go out and have some experience with you.
Well, if I know you guys already have a crew for filming, but if Jose, something happens with Jose, just give me a shout for the next one. I'll make myself available because I'm done being jealous.
Well, I'm sure you can talk about adding a second camera guy. We could always use a second camera guy. So
I wouldn't mind at all, man. It's you guys are obviously great friends, so I think it'd be natural to just have me follow you guys around and capture everything.
Yeah, just different perspective. I mean, if you watch the video, you can see where the drone comes in, and you see the difference in the eye from what Josh sees and what Josh considers to be cool, because Josh is really at the heart of an off-roader and photographer. And then when Jose gets in there, and Jose's not much of an off-roader and learning more of that every day, but he's a great cinematographer, and he has an eye for that side of it. And you see like the difference in them pop together, and you get like the footage come through from different perspectives, and it really helps unify the experience. It's not just one eye; it's kind of everything. So it's like you kind of get it all. It's pretty cool. I like when you have multiple people coming in to pitch in for the content side of it, and then letting it all kind of meld together to become one.
Yeah.
So
there's some aspects of what Flex Rocks and Rollovers does that has that. You have Yanni, who's their main editor. Doesn't even live in the country, but he does all their editing, and then Marvin hires out other hands for cameras. So you have 3-4 other people sometimes that have different perspectives on how to film something. And then you have Yanni in Germany putting all these different eyes on the same page and putting together his edit. It works pretty well for them, I think.
Yeah.
Where I think I've dropped the ball a little bit with stuff that I've done with Crawl 5280 is I've kept my vision and wanted every camera to have that vision. And I think that was a mistake on my part where there is some importance to have other cameras have some sort of free will, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
instead of
Yeah.
being direction.
Yeah. Like I said, I think when I see that, when you see something that one camera person puts together, you see just that perspective. But when you see the different stuff come in, different eye for things, you see a different level, you see different perspective, you see things that they see that are different from the others, and then they all kind of mix together, and it's the same content but different eyes all around it, and I think it creates a better flow for a video when you have the group out there.
And I think that's how, or I think this is why some of the YouTube videos are being diluted so much, is because there's so many people that are just using their camera phone.
Yeah,
and they're getting one perspective, and
it's just my ring. Hey, it's me. Hey,
yeah,
hey.
And it's the same thing all the time. Hey, watch me do this. Hey, watch me do that.
Here I go to
or hey,
this.
I'm with this, and it's just like, all right, what else do you do? Do another trick, monkey. Can you do another trick, monkey? No, you can't do another trick, monkey. Guess what, monkey? I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah, it's done. Or it's even worse. Like, you get someone sending like a little quick video. I think Tanner sends me a video in Messenger here and there, and then another guy, another buddy, Tom Grego, sends me some stuff, and sometimes they're very different videos, but it's the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. I go, this person just did this, so there's no creativity anywhere.
Yeah,
it's like there's like one song that everyone uses. I'm like, and it's. Come on. There's no creativity.
How many beadlock install videos does the goddamn world need? It's all become so vapid. It's become narcissistic. I mean,
mine's better.
And I say this as we're podcasting here, but it's not because we're reaching out for money or anything. It's just because we're bored and this is what we're doing. But these people are seriously trying. They're big. Smash that subscribe button. You know, it's like, okay, no, I'm not smashing a subscribe button just because I want to figure out how to sous vide the steak. You know, everyone is copying everyone.
Yeah, and there's no originality to content. It's just someone finds a song and all of a sudden everyone's going to use it.
Yeah,
it's like they all talk to each other. Like, okay, here, this is a song we're using this week.
I got into an argument once with a YouTuber, and he called me a YouTuber because I was on YouTube, and I'm like, don't call me a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber.
I think I know this YouTuber.
And I said, I have a job. YouTubing is not my job. YouTubing is not a job. And they got offended. And I said, well, until your job is paying for most of your 401k, at least 4% of your 401k, unless your job is paying for some of your medical, unless you have some benefits, that's not a real job to me. You're not paying taxes like that. You have to save money to pay these taxes at the end of the year. My taxes get automatically deducted. There's a lot of things to being a YouTuber that are glamorous to some people, but they don't see the bad side of it, or the I don't want to say dark side, but there is a dark side to it. There's a side that people just don't understand, and all they see is, oh, these people are so cool. They're showing off their brand new Jeep and they're showing off this and that. But yet you don't see that they're living in squalor. There's someone that lives in Michigan that I shall not name, but everyone knows her as something Jeep girl. And she lives in fucking squalor. You fucking kidding me? I would not be happy showing off selfies with squalor in the background. You fucking kidding me? This is all fake. People are buying into this fake.
Yeah. Yep.
It's fucking gross.
But they're all making money though, which is weird. So waiting for it to die.
I think when it does die off is when there's going to be a renaissance.
People like really figure out how to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the way it always happens.
Yeah.
For something to evolve, it has to die.
Yeah.
Aspects of it has to die. And I think the government's going to help.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of local governments pushing out off-roading like Moab.
Yeah. It's they're making it quite clear they don't want us there, and then they're taking a little piece because of this group, but it's like, so we'll see what the next few years brings. It's more and more like I don't want to go downtown. I don't want to be anywhere in town. It's just to just stay outside, just stay away.
Yeah.
Drive in for Gilberto's and
those burritos are so good, and they're priced just right too.
Yeah.
And then right there in the little cooler next to it, you got your carrot juice and your other Mexican Cokes, and a little bar over there you got your carrots in a baggie with vinegar sauce and jalapeno and
all your sides, and you get everything goodness. There. It's all you need. It's all you need in Moab is Gilberto's. It's all you need.
That's all. Oh, God, now I'm hungry, and I want a breakfast burrito.
But here's my problem though, is that I'll get this hunger and I'm like, oh yeah, I talked about it now, and like, okay, I'll get a breakfast burrito. I get it somewhere local. I'm like, that wasn't a breakfast burrito. Throw it in the trash. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come here, Gilberto's. Freaking 10-hour drive to Moab for a freaking burrito.
That was one of my gripes about Denver. Is everyone was like, oh, the best breakfast burritos are from Santiago's. So I went to Santiago's, and it was a flour tortilla smothered with green chili and I don't know what the hell else was in it, and something with egg. And I've seen Taco Bell burritos bigger than these. I was like, how can you claim this is the best breakfast burrito when it doesn't have anything in it?
Was it good at least?
No.
Oh.
And then I found this place called Rico's Burritos. Let me tell you about Rico. The first one that I ordered, it had 5 strips of bacon, 3 links of sausage, 4 eggs.
Damn.
Probably a good handful of shredded cheese. And it was a big tortilla. And he held this thing with 2 hands and not just one. That is a breakfast burrito, my friends.
Yeah. When it's breakfast and lunch.
Yeah,
is the best one. When you eat half of it, you roll it back up, you throw it in the ice chest, and then when everyone goes out to get ready for lunch, you go pull it out of the ice chest, you let it sit on the dashboard for about a half an hour as you get to the end of that trail, and it warms up a little bit. You eat the rest of it for lunch, and that's your meal for the day until you get to dinner for $7. Yes.
Yeah. Man. And now I think I'm gonna have to make a quick trip somewhere. They have direct flights to Moab now.
Oh, jeez. So what about now? Like by you. So, okay, let's go even by you. Like, where do you have to go for a good breakfast burrito? At least I have decent breakfast burritos here. I can go get. So I have to drive 20 minutes to get a good breakfast burrito. I can get a shit one around the corner, but a good one, 20 minutes.
For as many Mexican restaurants as there are where I live, they're all shitty. And I haven't found a good breakfast place yet that has a breakfast burrito. So I've been going to Sonic. If I
if I
that's
can't
how
get
bad.
good, I might as well just get shit and pay nothing for it.
Yeah, yeah. But if I wanted a really good one, I'd have to probably go about 30 minutes out into Murfreesboro.
Into Murfreesboro, okay.
Yeah. Which is sad because there's so many Mexicans that live in the city. And I think they're pasture throughers. Like they're a lot of them were just here for construction and their family kind of just settled and said, hey, let's establish a restaurant here too.
Yeah, but you would think that would bring in something better.
I don't know, man. It's
like
maybe it's not
terrible?
Mexican food. Maybe it's Guatemalan, and they just call it
Guatemalan.
Mexican.
It could be Guatemalan. They call it Mexican food. I had no idea. Just call it Guatemalan food then. Guatemalan has some decent food on their own.
Yeah, but this isn't this. We'd have to pretend it's decent to call it decent.
Well, no. I'm saying, but Guatemalan, like if you go to a good Guatemalan restaurant, they have decent food. Maybe the food that you're even having there isn't decent, but maybe people just can't cook. You're like, hey, there's no Mexican food here. Let's just create a Mexican food restaurant here. Like it has to be like some sort of. You would think there has to be some sort of talent in there to make you want to do it. I mean, is your kids telling you, "Oh, mom, you cook the best," but mom's actually a really shitty cook?
And
mom's opening a restaurant, and now everyone's throwing up at mom's restaurant.
Hey, I've known people to do that. I had a friend that his mom made tortas and would take them to the swap meet and sell them, and she would always come back with a chest full of tortas. She couldn't sell them, but he would say, "Oh, these are so good, mom." I never had one to attest to it, but I mean, if she's not selling tortas at the fucking swap meet for $2, there's something wrong there.
Yeah.
And I love a good torta too.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
I turned Matt Loxley onto tortas, and now that he's finally had one, he's all about it.
I mean, what's not to like? It's a freaking sandwich with grilled bread, a soft roll, sliced in half, grilled, and then beans and meat and lettuce and onions and some guac. And then Mayo. you have a milanesa, which is like the breaded beef, real thin breaded beef on there. You do the ham and cheese, do carne asada, carnitas. There's a place not too far. Well, it's actually kind of far from here, but in Phoenix, and the place is just Casa de Torta or whatever it's called. But all it is like a menu, just 10 different versions of tortas that you can choose what they have on it and what gets on it, and it's pretty incredible.
I've always talked about wanting to start a food truck. And the theme of the food truck would just be stoner food. And torta would be on the menu.
Yeah.
A lot of chorizo would be on the menu.
Yeah.
Mac and cheeses would be on the menu.
Sonoran dogs.
Yeah.
Mexican hot dogs wrapped in bacon.
Yeah. Egg sandwiches.
Yeah.
Breakfast burritos.
Breakfast burritos. Yeah.
Captain Crunch.
Isn't Captain Crunch what got you there?
Captain Crunch got me to a lot of places, including the dentist. God, it's just little sugar bricks. That's all Captain Crunch is. Corn sugar bricks.
Sugar puff.
Good old. And people hate when I say this because it's so gross. I acknowledge it's gross, but I can't help it. I love it. I love my cereal soggy. I will wait minutes and let that bowl sit there with cereal just swimming in milk until it becomes soggy. And then I'll dive in.
Nah. I'm not a big cereal fan, probably because I don't really care for milk. And I'm really not a sweet person, so sweet cereals are really not my thing. I like a good bowl of granola, but it has to be crunchy. It has to be like spoon in the bowl already. Milk goes in. As soon as the milk tilts back, its spoon is in, and it's time to go. and they're half dry, but they're crunchy, and you got a little bit of refreshment, a little bit of milk in there, and then I end up with half a bowl of milk that just goes thrown down the toilet.
Is it a lactose issue or is it just you don't like milk?
It's just not it's probably both, but mostly I don't like the flavor of it. And then, yeah, I have a lactose problem.
Were you there? You had to have been in there, Moab. Just got off of Pritchett Canyon. I think it was about 4 years ago. And JP did not want to stop at the ice cream place. And then he said, okay, fine, we'll go get ice cream. He had an ice cream. He took 2 licks and was like, all right, I got to go.
Yeah, time to go. Yeah, for the most part, I don't have it that bad. It'll brew, but sometimes I'll get the McDonald's cone and halfway into it going, all right, we got to turn back and go back to McDonald's. If you barely get out of the parking lot, not turn back around, I'm going in.
It's the worst when you can't finish something and your stomach's already just like.
Oh yeah. Halfway done, you're like, okay, be done. Hold this, and you know that's done. You can't eat it anymore, so you got to go out, go to the bathroom, take care of business, come out, order a new one, and then get back in the car and leave. It's the way it has to work.
See, that's another reason why I couldn't drink coffee. I mean, I don't like coffee I love the smell of coffee, but I don't like the taste of coffee. And if I do drink coffee, I have to have tons of sugar in it. But that's beside the point. That's another reason why I couldn't have coffee is because that would make me just shit myself. Like
the
crazy.
Coffee or adding the milk?
Well, probably both. I think it would be double trouble. I'm asking for a lot of issues there if I'm adding creamer to my coffee.
But just
for someone to never have coffee or drink coffee and then all of a sudden start drinking coffee, there's going to be some dietary issues there.
I don't know. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
Oh, you don't either? Okay.
I don't like the smell of coffee.
I love the smell of coffee.
Oh,
I hate the taste of it.
No, like
It's
if we're
odd.
like in a small place and there's coffee brewing, I gotta walk outside. I'm out.
Even going to like a roaster, smelling the beans roast. I love that smell.
No, we have a local olive oil pressing company here, the Olive Mill, and they have a coffee roaster inside, just a little station. And when they're roasting coffee in there, it's like I got to be on the opposite side of the building.
Wow,
it's
one of the best smells that I've ever had. 2, I'll give you 2, because one was a childhood memory. The first one, I'll tell you, is when I moved to Denver. Jolly Rancher was still in business, and their factory was not far from where I lived, and I would have to pass their factory on the way to work, and you would smell the different flavors of the day, like apple, sour apple,
watermelon.
Yeah, and it, oh God, it was so wonderful.
So what was a favorite?
The beef jerky factory as a kid. There was a beef jerky
factory.
Yeah, off Hadley Boulevard in Whittier. There used to be a beef jerky factory before that area became gentrified and Starbucksified. There used to be a beef jerky factory. And as a kid, we would just ride our bikes everywhere, obviously. And we would pass this beef jerky factory. And we always made it a point on the way back to stop and get free samples because they always had free samples in their lobby.
Was it a small place?
The main office was very, very small. It was always the same receptionist. She let me and the kids just walk in and grab some samples and leave. They had no issues with it at all. But I don't remember it being small, the actual building. And it might just be because I was a kid and everything back then was big to me. But
were they packaging it, or was it like just a local?
It was a production facility.
Company. It was a production facility. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was one of the last places in Whittier that was actually slaughtering beef.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It
was about, I would say, a good half a mile to a quarter mile from Whittier High School in Uptown Whittier. This would have been, they closed down just before 1989-ish.
I don't even know.
In fact, it was right
now I'm lurking now.
I remember now. It was right after the big earthquake that demolished a lot of Uptown Whittier. It was right after that earthquake they closed down. So that would have had to have been 87, 87, 88. Don't remember the name of the actual company, but the smells of that place were phenomenal. I love beef jerky. Obviously, you love beef jerky. You had me
Love beef jerky.
buy some for you. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. I was coming off of. You weren't at Moab yet, and I was.
I
coming
had to go
off
to the Yale Geezer.
Yeah. I think you were already trying to reach me and I didn't have cell service. And then all of a sudden my phone starts ringing. I'm coming off the trail. Hey, this place isn't going to be open tomorrow. Can you stop there for me tonight?
That sounds like something I would do. This 100% sounds like me.
Well,
yeah,
I was totally in for it too, because I had no idea it was there. So I got some for myself too.
Yeah. And that was back when it was good. Post COVID, it's been shit. I don't even go in there anymore.
Really?
They used to use a good cut of meat in there, and then post COVID they just cheaped out and they're just using bottom round in there. And you just look at it and there's these. It looks like slices of Farmer John ham that they've made into beef jerky. It's just that perfect freaking round shape, beef round shape. Like no more. It's chewy and nasty. The flavor of it was not there. Luckily this year. Jason and Christy from Addictive Auto Works in Calvert, Texas, brought me a pound of Bucky's garlic steak jerky to Moab. Yes. Jerky's my thing.
I'm kind of upset. No, I didn't get any.
Yeah, usually across the country, it's like I'm stopping at Bucky's and there's going to be a couple packets of jerky in the fridge as I go across the country. So I don't have to stop for a lunch. I can just have like some jerky for lunch.
They're building a Bucky's about 15 miles away from you right now.
Yeah. Yep. They're getting a lot more out in Tennessee.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I've never been to one. I've only heard. It's almost like a unicorn. I've only heard of this thing, this mythical place, this mythical thing. I've only heard of it. I've never seen one. I've seen the hats. I've seen the T-shirts, and that's what I'm getting when I first get there. I'm grabbing a fucking Bucky's T-shirt.
Well, I'm wearing my T-shirt. Yeah, there's one. They built another one. Going between Nashville and.
I think it's in Crossville.
Yeah, it's in Crossville. Halfway between Nashville and
Pigeon Forge.
And Pigeon Forge, yeah. But what's the other town up there? Why am I drawing a blank? Jeez.
Oak Ridge?
Yeah, no, the other one. That's the other city where
there's Tennessee's a lot of cities over there.
It's the big city.
Knoxville?
On that side of town. Knoxville. Jeez. I'm trying to Knoxville and I'm a jackass. See, I told you I can't remember shit. It's right. I was sitting there going, it's just, there's a city. I have friends there that live there. Been there 100 times.
It's the city that I've been to. It's a city that I lived in.
Yeah, I lived
there for
30 years.
Yes.
Monterey Park. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I want to. Actually, that's one city that I do want to forget sometimes.
Yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, in Crossville, it's going into Knoxville. There's a Bucky's there. It's not too far.
No, that's about an hour. Say about an hour and a half
from you. Hour and a half from you.
Yeah.
You have to cut across and get on the highway.
Up 840.
Yep.
840 to 40, and then due east.
Yeah.
But that's a nice area, though. It's up on the Cumberland Plateau. It's very green. I like it there.
Lots of lakes.
Yeah.
Lots of fishing.
Yep.
Not a lot of houses on those lakes.
I wouldn't think so.
Good place to find a house and move to Tennessee.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
all I want is a small house, the dock with the pontoon boat docked out there. So at 449.
Hey, I live about a half a mile from the Duck River.
From the Duck River. Yeah.
A lot of good fishing there.
449, I'll be able to grab my ice chest with my beer, grab my bag of worms, and go fishing for the night.
People
be back about 9:00.
People really do use worms for bait. I mean, I've never been fishing. So this can probably sound so fucking ignorant. I always thought they used something else for bait, like actual, like they look like gummy worm things.
Well, there's that. So you have plastic worms, real worms. So it really depends on what you're fishing and how you're fishing. I use I don't think it's here. Tackle boxes here. I just moved it out. No, I use plastic worms for a lot of fishing out in the lakes, and then different rigging and stuff depending if I'm in reed and grass and stuff like that. They have like the weedless rigs that you can do now, so your hook's not breaking. But I tend to break a lot of hooks. Mm-hmm. But also there's real worms. When I take the kids fishing, we went to up near Flagstaff fishing, and I took my sister and her husband and her 3 kids are now living about 10 minutes from me. So we went camping with them and took the kids fishing, and I stopped and I got worms specifically. half of that is to gauge how good of fishing people they're going to be. The other half is to just kind of gross them out and see what they're going to do. So two 9-year-old boys and a 5-year-old girl. The 9-year-old boys wanted nothing to do with the worms. 5-year-old girl, these are my new friends. She played with them for the whole day. We fished. The boys got tired of fishing after about 15 minutes, and it was windy. They got snagged, and it was just kind of, okay, we're done fishing. Okay, we fished. Okay, got over with. We went back, and my niece just played with the worms for the next day that we were camping. That's all she did. When I get my worms, I ought to go say hi to my worms. Good morning, worms. So, but yes, you can fish with live worms.
I really hope Travis doesn't listen to this, because he's gonna just call me and he's gonna bust my balls. And the fuck you talking about? You never fished? What the fuck you asking about worms? I'm sure a lot of people are going to be calling me about that.
They're way easier to handle than a mackerel or a sardine on a boat that's rocking with 8-foot swells.
I think if I try fishing, my first time needs to be in a controlled, somewhat controlled environment, because lately all my new experiences in outdoor activities have been under extreme conditions, and it's been hard to grasp the enjoyment that comes from it. Like when I went duck hunting for the first time.
Did you freeze your ass off?
Not only did I freeze my ass off, I got wet. We were trying to shoot ducks in a blizzard.
Yeah.
It was fun because I was with friends. It was not fun because I was freezing cold in a blind, not wearing the proper clothing because I didn't know any better. Now I know better. Now I've spent thousands of dollars on good equipment now.
Well, that's what happens. You have a bad experience, and all of a sudden you like do it better. Yeah, that's why I don't tent camp anymore. It's like I'll sleep in the truck if I have to. Like the Elevate experience, I'm sleeping in the truck, but I have a travel trailer now because I want a bed. I get a 12-inch thick mattress in my travel trailer.
I've went from sleeping bags to hammocks, and I rather enjoy a hammock more than a sleeping bag in the ground and the tent. I like the hammock. Sleeping outside in a hammock it's primal. It feels.
Yeah, my only problem with that is that I'm a perfectly wrapped burrito for a bear.
Oh, tell me about it. When we were in California on the Rubicon, the first night, Will almost got eaten by a bear.
Oh,
A bear was
is that where Tim shot through the tent?
yes, it was that weekend or that week. Yeah, that was on Fordyce,
Oh, no, Fortnite.
and
Yeah.
and that's when I was closest to the bear in my hammock, and I started screaming bear, bear, and then the shot through the tent. Yeah,
Uh,
I wouldn't have shot through the tent, but it's not my tent.
they make patches. It's fine. It's not like the whole top exploded. It's just it's only a hole about that big. Come on.
Yeah, that bear experience was not fun though.
No, no, I couldn't imagine it. And did you at least have like a chain with bear spray where you could like
No.
reach up and grab it? No.
No, I had did I have a gun with me? Yeah, I did have it. No, I didn't have a gun with me.
You're in California. You didn't have a gun with you.
No. Not that trip. And I think my second trip to when I went to Colorado this last time around, I knew I was going to be sleeping outside again, so I was taking my gun with me. And it was kind of my fault. I didn't read the airline's rules. I read the FAA's rules on transporting guns with ammo and that sort of thing, but I didn't read the airline's rules on it. And I had my ammo in my magazine and not in a separate box. So they made me dump my ammo. So taking the fucking gun was pointless because it's 10 millimeter ammo. And
Yeah, you're not finding it in California.
No.
Or Colorado.
Or in Colorado. Well, you could, but I mean, it's not a lot of people carry 10 millimeter. Yeah. It's not a very popular round. Mountain communities will carry it because of the bears, but again, not every store is going to carry it.
Yeah.
But bears, I don't trust them. They're unpredictable. Even at the black ones that are, not people eaters or whatever you call it, but those can be aggressive too.
They'll go off just because.
But that's why I enjoyed camping in Utah, is because there's no bears.
I only camp where there's no bears.
From now on, I only camp when there's no bears.
Well, I just camp in the travel trailer or the truck. That's it. I'm good.
The only thing that sucks about the hammock is if it does rain, you're kind of fucked. Even if you have a rain fly, because that thing can get pretty moist and heavy, and then it just starts sagging. That's what happened to me one night.
You got to string up a tarp above you.
Well, that's the thing is, I flew there, so I was real limited on how much stuff I can take.
What you had,
and I overloaded on camera gear. So I mean, there was stuff I was like, I'm probably not going to need this, but I'm going to take it anyway. So I had a lot of extra camera gear that I probably didn't need to take. It was just one of those situations where I'm like, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah. Yep. I get it. Travel trailer.
Or just get a truck long enough with the bed that you can just sleep in that.
Well, so last year on the Elevate experience, I bought this mattress that's designed for the backseat of a truck, and it had these two little inflatable pieces that dropped in front of the seat, so you could make the bed go across where the feet area is. So it's supposed to create a deck across the seats. Well, they showed it, and I'm like, oh, it looks pretty cool. But I didn't pay attention to the fact that there's a little Asian girl that weighed about 90 pounds, and I weigh a couple more pounds than that. So I'd roll into there and just go into the hole. So I'm like, all right, well, this sucks. So halfway in the middle of the night, I'm like reconfiguring the bed. I'm pulling these things out, and then in my truck, there's a fold flat underneath the seat. So the seat folds up, and then it has a deck that folds flat. I'm like, why didn't I think of this? So I put the mattress down there. Well, as I'm putting it back into position, there's bolts that come up in the middle of the
Oh
seats
no.
or a bracket, and it just grabbed the side of the mattress and went. So we're camping. We're out in the middle of nowhere. There's no place to go for anything. So I just like dropped all my blankets, and then it was 26 degrees
Oh
overnight.
fuck.
So I was freezing my nuts off and uncomfortable. So I had a shit night that night. I was just like pissed off the next morning, and it was just like it didn't work. So we had gone into Montrose, and I went into the Walmart there, and I just got a twin inflatable air mattress, and I put it back in there. I put towels over these sharp brackets that were back there, and I inflated it. But when I inflated it, I went to go open the door, and the door just goes poof, because it was wider than the tree. So it just created this thing. So I had to deflate it, slam the door, and then go in and try to inflate it from whatever corner I can get into it. And then you can't open the door. You got to crawl over through the seats.
Hey, did you happen to see that little tiny town next to that Montrose Walmart? It's like a replica old Western town, but it's miniature size. It's like 1/4 scale. It's actually kind of cool.
I don't think we did. Is it behind the Walmart?
No, it is. I want to say it was. I want to say it was about northwest of it.
No, we didn't do that. No, I'm about to go see this now. All right, Corey, cool. Jesse, coming to see you. But
those little tiny towns like that are miniature stuff. I don't know. I'm a sucker for westerns, so anything like that's going to grab me and pull me in.
Well, it's why I love Ouray. It's like this old Western town there's some wooden sidewalks and these old Western type bars with the big old bars with the mirrors all the way back across there. I just imagine some gunfight happened in there, and cowboys just step up and 2 whiskey.
That's why I like Deadwood. Deadwood was really cool. A lot of it's not original because that town has had so many fires. They've had to rebuild, I think, 3 or 4 times. But the original thoroughfare is original, and it's still brick. That's where I learned the reason why so many towns in old Western cities are so wide is because the horse and wagon had to have the ability to turn around on that street.
Turn around and...
So they made them extra wide so that they can do that.
Makes sense.
That's why in Ouray, that's that wide.
That street is super wide. Well, now it's just a road now. It's not dirt. When you go down like to Tombstone, Tombstone is that original Western town. It has the wooden sidewalks, old stuff on there, but it's so touristy now. It's not even fun anymore. Like 30 years ago, it was really cool. 10 years ago, it was.
What the hell's going on?
Surfboard just fell over.
Got goblins trying to surf.
Apparently. 10 years ago, it was actually really good. And then went a few years ago, and it was so commercial, and it wasn't even fun. I was just like, I guess the last time I come to Tombstone, unless I have to. But
I've
same
never
thing.
been there.
It's that same thing. It's the idea of it with the old Western town. Going to the old courthouse is pretty cool because it's not commercialized. I mean, it's $5 to get in, but still, it's not that bad. Mm-hmm. But everything in town is the cowboys walking around trying to get you to take pictures with them, trying to get you to come see this show or this gunfight at the OK Corral, this gunfight at the OK Corral West, this gunfight at the OK Corral number 4.
So it's almost like going to the Western Knott's Berry Farm side, and it's just someone always trying to sell you a show.
That's exactly what it turned into, and I was like, "Come on."
Speaking of Knott's Berry Farm, I miss the chicken there, the fried chicken. Do you remember that?
Fried chicken, yeah.
If
Fried
anyone's
chicken
listening
restaurant?
if anyone is listening that lives in Buena Park, California, and is close to Knott's Berry Farm, I will pay triple for you to ship me out some fried chicken from Knott's Berry Farm. It's legendary.
Can't you Uber Eats it?
That's a good question. There's a lot of places that are doing that now. Like
Ship
that one
overnight?
place. Yeah, there's that place in the deli, Cat's Deli. They're doing
Cat's
that
Deli?
now. They're doing that now. And
Overnight it?
how good would it be though?
My sister lives here now. She used to live about 10 minutes from Knott's.
I used to go there all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
My cousin and I, we made a fictitious world record for Knott's Berry Farm, where we rid Montezuma's Revenge 25 times in a row, and we claimed it as a world record. We're like
To everybody.
we're like 10 years old at the time or something.
It's got to be a world record.
We're barely tall enough to get on the ride. You know, it was summer. There was unbelievably nobody there, and that line was always long, if you remember.
Mhm.
So we were like, let's just keep riding it. And I think after the 25th time, we're like, that's a world record. Yeah.
That's it. We're done. Never riding it again.
I think we're just
Yeah.
sick and tired of the same fucking ride.
That happened.
Wanted to move on.
And that was we lived in Riverside. You could get the annual pass. You buy one day and get the annual pass. It was like $60 for the year. So you just go after work,
Mm-hmm.
get there about 6:00, go have dinner, fried chicken dinner, go ride a few rides, get back in the car and go home. It's like, okay, it's the best entertainment ever because you're paying $3 for parking for 3 hours and you have dinner and go hang out and go ride a few rides. And it's, for the most part, during the week, pretty empty. I think one of the nights we were in there, Montezuma's Revenge was empty. And we were just getting up, coming back down, getting up, coming back down, getting up, coming back down. And we did about 5-10 times. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Something else.
So everyone that's listening that don't know, Knott's Berry Farm is an amusement park in Southern California. It's smaller than Disneyland. I'd say about half the size of Disneyland, but double the fun. Just because it's not so corporate, it's not Disney. There was a lot more fun rides, more adventurous rides, more roller coasters, I should say, than kiddie rides at Disneyland. So
the idea of it was like an old. It was all frontiersy, cowboyish.
mhm.
So I think that was the one draw that I always had about it. There was always a little town. The blacksmith was in there. You could pay him for gold. There's always that pioneer life that I think we have the same thing. The Western is something that's really cool for me. I think that was a big thing. It's always that old mine train roller coaster with the wooden roller coaster. It's just rock your insides. Just
the log ride.
The log ride.
It was a coal ride, right?
There was a coal ride. There was a log ride. That was the original log ride. Was Knott's.
Yeah.
Was a log ride, and you go through that the old mine thing, and then you drop down and come back around and get out that side. Then you had the other train that went through the coal mine.
Yeah, that one was fast.
That one was pretty fast. So we had a conversation a few weeks ago about there was this attraction there. It was this house, and the house was this house of trickery.
Oh, and you walk in.
Do you remember that? You walk in and they had things were sideways, and they had someone standing like here and the other side here, but the illusion was they were the same height, but they came together and the guy's like this much taller than the lady, and it was, you could roll a ball this way, it would go, so it was always this house of trickery, and it's gone now. It's been gone for probably 20 years. It's been gone. But it was like, how cool would it be like something like that, like nowadays, to do that?
Yeah. Knott's Berry Farm was probably, in my imagination, way better than Disneyland as a kid, because my parents would drop us off. It was $10 to get in or something like that. It was way cheaper than Disneyland, way cheaper, and still is. And so they'd drop us off, give us $10 to get in, $20 in our pocket for the day for food, which lasted all day. I mean, you can back then $20 would go for a long time in Knott's Berry Farm, and they would pick us up around 7-8 o'clock at night, and we would be there all day, just running amok. Not really getting into trouble, because you couldn't really get into trouble there. You're too busy having fun.
No,
I mean, you're meeting a lot of girls and stuff. I met a lot of girls there. You want to go on a ride? Let's go on that slow ride that's dark.
the dinosaur one.
The dinosaur ride, yeah.
and then the ones that you don't like, you take them on the Bigfoot Rapids, getting wet, to get stuff at you.
Yeah. Or take them into Camp Snoopy. You take them into Camp Snoopy, you go on those slow little rides, and you get to know them a little bit. And then you take them into the dinosaur ride where it's dark. Then you come out with your stinky fingers.
Stinky pinky.
Oh my God. I'm so glad I don't have any daughters.
Yeah, I'm so glad I don't live anywhere near Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh God. I was a bad kid, man. I violated a lot of young girls. They let me, but yeah, there was back then.
Yes, man. Yes.
Yeah. So it was a numbers game. The more girls that you try to go out with or hook up with, the better chances you had, because there was no internet. Every girl you had to try to get with, because that might be the last chance you get in a while, because how else are you going to meet a girl unless you're out and about?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're out and about, that's the best time to do it. And you don't want a girl from the neighborhood, because you know all the girls from the neighborhood. You know all the guys from the neighborhood. And you know all the
girls that have been with all the guys from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I pass on that one.
Knott's Berry Farm was the fun place to meet young girls. That was for me the nightclub of my junior high days. Oh, speaking of nightclubs, they had K-Rave. Remember that?
K-Rave?
In the 90s, mid-90s, they started having raves there. They used to have a club, Club K or something like that it was called. And Knott's Berry Farm actually had a club in it. I think around 10 o'clock at night, it would there was a portion of the park that would shut down, and it would be a club. And then during a few summers in the mid to late 90s, they had actual raves in Knott's Berry Farm. And I think they call them K-Raves or something.
I don't recall. I remember going to the all-night parties, the haunted parties and stuff like that, where you go in at like 10 p.m. after everyone got kicked out.
Yeah, Knott's Scary Farm.
Daytime, Knott's Scary Farm, and then they did maybe it's just Knott's Scary Farm. It was just like you'd go in at like 10, 11 o'clock, and you'd go to like 5, 6 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had actors as monsters, and they transformed it into mazes and different. I actually got kicked out of there one year because I got scared shitless. So I was running a corner that I was going to get on a ride, and they had this netting, and one of the actors is dressed up as a monster was behind this netting, and totally didn't see it, and he all of a sudden just. And my first instinct was just to turn around and close a fist and hit him. And I did. And my friend was like, "What are you doing? You know, like, you shouldn't be doing that." I was like, "Oh, fuck, I'm in trouble." And that's when I was like, I'm sorry. Don't kick me out." They still kicked me out.
Yeah, you're done.
I'm sure that happens a lot, though.
Oh, yeah. People get escorted all the time. I remember even Universal did that. Halloween, whatever they called theirs too. They did that. Universal. It was all night, going at night and go to the morning. But yeah, that one was bad because all it was people walking around selling you these shots for like $1. You're just getting hammered the whole night, and then it's like you're in Universal City and you got to drive all the way back home.
Was it on City Walk or was it in the actual?
Well, it was
park?
it was pre City Walk. No, it was in the park.
Oh,
Yeah. Before City Walk, like us old people, there was no City Walk. City Walk is new. That's for you new people.
I only went to City Walk twice. I was not impressed by it.
Yeah. No, it's just a mall. I mean,
It's like the
downtown,
block in
it's like
Orange.
downtown Disney. Yeah,
it's
that's all it is. It just happens to be in front of it. So now you're fighting for mall parking and amusement park parking up in the top of a hill, which has very little parking anyway. So
Mhm.
it's just dumb. But yeah,
Do you remember going to the Del Amo Plaza in Torrance? Did you ever go
Yeah.
there?
yeah, the Del Amo Mall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was
They
for
had
me.
they had the Ferris with the big Ferris wheel.
Yeah, that was for me the Compton swap meet of malls.
Oh, that was after.
Yeah, it was later.
So like in the 70s when it was first built, that used to be like they had the carousel in there, and other
They still had
amusement
it.
rides in there. Yeah, it was still there. But that when that was there, that was like come on to the Del Amo Mall. It was all this stuff that was happening, not just the mall. Come and enjoy the day, and that's what it started off in the 70s as. And then Hawthorne took over, and then Del Amo Mall became the Western Compton's swap meet.
Have you ever been to the Compton swap meet?
No.
So a friend and I went only because we're, in rap music, that's all you heard. West Coast rap music, that's all you heard. Compton swap meet. So we went. We were like, let's check this out. Let's see what this is all about. We go, and we're like, this is just like the fucking swap meet in Pico Rivera.
Exactly.
I said the only difference is there is more black hair care products here than there is there. There's still shoes in plastic.
Same knockoff shoes in plastic. Same socks. Same Dickies. Same
Mexican music that's being sold here is sold there.
yeah. Mixtapes. Guy selling mixtapes. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. There's not much difference between the two.
Same barbershop. I never understood. Why are you putting a barbershop in a fucking indoor swap meet? That is the most bizarre thing. And there's people there getting the actual haircut, like, getting faded up, ready for the weekend, going to the club. $2 haircuts.
I don't know. Maybe cost of getting a storefront somewhere. Maybe you got to sign your life away for a storefront. They get $100 a week, and they make their money. I don't know. There has to be some economic advantage there for someone to do that.
Good old swap meets, man. Dude, you can find some great deals there. You can find some stuff that you got stolen and you found it there. You can find some really great shit.
Oh yeah. So what was the drive-in in Pico off of Whittier? What was that?
What was it called, or where was it?
What was it called?
I think it was just the Pico Drive-In.
Was it Pico Rivera Drive-In?
I think so.
So
it was on Whittier Boulevard and Rosemead, I think.
Yeah. It was a Paramount.
Paramount, yeah.
Whittier and Paramount, not Rosemead. And they had the swap meet there for a short time, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the Santa Fe Springs.
They're still having it there.
The Santa Fe Springs still happening.
Yeah.
And then there was one
Orange.
Rosemead San Gabriel area. And that one was like Fence City. It was like like a guy with a van and everything out there. I'm like, all this shit's stolen. All this shit's stolen.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that was probably, I'm going to say 80% of the stuff at swap meets are stolen. Especially if it came off of like just a truck. Someone just pulled up the truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not packaged. It doesn't have manufacturing packaging or anything like that. There's no boxes. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Bikes especially.
Yeah, it was bikes, tools, radios, stuff that like someone when he just grabbed and ran with. Corner, still radios, VCRs
radios.
and stuff.
Pull out radios.
Pull out, yeah, just to pull out. No, there's no receiver. Find your own receiver. Try to figure this one out. Yeah, like all that. Like, but then even on top of that, it was all the knockoff stuff. Like half those the clothes and stuff that you went and bought there, the purses and shoes and stuff like that were all knockoffs. Back when you used to go downtown to the garment district to get clothes, and then they kind of slowed that down because they started raiding all these factories because they were just knockoff factories.
Yep. The amount of regulation, the amount of regulation that wasn't there in the 80s and early 90s compared to now, it's insane.
Yep.
I mean, you think of how much it's changed. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so much. I mean, now it's like, okay, well, you're gonna add a tag with a hologram on it, or some sort of digital stamp on things now that you just couldn't have back then. It was not cost effective. Now it's all just throw it on there.
Well, now we got people on Facebook just ripping off designs from the internet and putting them on cups and selling them as cups. It's like, fuck. One of these days, someone's going to see from these companies is going to see their design stolen on a cup that you made, seeing that you're selling them for $9.99, and they're going to show you a lesson. They're going to make an example out of you.
Yeah, at some point, there's so many of them. I mean, we go to there's a local car show here once a year, and there's a lady that sells these cups, and she has all these designs, and there's corporate logos on there. There's corporate logos that they've changed to make funny, but a lot of corporate logos that are still intact. Going, yeah, there's no licensing for that.
I think people hear about the parody law. You can do some sort of things and call it parody, but they don't understand how much of the design you have to change.
But the parody is fine because you're making the change. But I mean, like I said, there's some that are just straight on. Just hey, that's a corporate logo.
Yeah,
I know.
Just a straight ripoff.
Yeah, it's a straight logo. There's no parody to it. That's a Jack Daniel's logo.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if the Jack Daniel's Corporation was here, they'd be ripping this out of your possession.
It's just like SEMA. It's like SEMA that one year when someone went into that Chinese booth and just started taking shit. Actually, it was the feds, wasn't it?
Yeah, they went and escorted the people out. They took everything out, and then it was just an empty booth there in the middle of SEMA.
Yeah, I thought it was first. I thought for some reason I thought it was like the actual company, but I remember now it was the feds.
No, it was someone going in because it was all counterfeit and all knockoff stuff, and they went and they escorted the people out and grabbed all the crap and escorted all of it out with it.
That's crazy. I can't imagine just being that fucking ignorant, or
it's ballsy. It's not ignorant. It's
or
ballsy.
just being that obtuse.
It's just straight ballsy. You're like, well, yeah, let them catch me. That's all they say. Just let them catch me. But they spend so much time and effort and energy to make something different. Change it a little bit. Make something different.
They don't know how.
Right? It's
easier for them to just scam people.
Different.
People suck.
Yep.
All right, man. I think we're gonna call it. I got a steak to grill. My wife is out of town not out of town. She's in Nashville for the night visiting her sister. But while she's gone, I'm grilling a steak.
All right. I think I might be hitting some tuna.
Tuna, like steak tuna, or actual from a can, like
tuna? No, steak tuna from the fishing trip I just did.
Okay, good. Good. I
No,
love tuna
like
steaks.
fresh tuna,
I love
fresh
tuna
tuna
steaks.
steak. Yeah, I got I pulled in about a 20-pound bluefin and brought it home and cut it all up and processed it here. And the house smelled like tuna for like 2 days, and smelled like
Mm,
the ocean for like 2 days. And everyone gave me shit for it, but you
mm.
know what? When you're eating that tuna, you're gonna be freaking going, okay, it's all right.
What are you making it with?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna go in there and see what's even in there.
I
I
saw
hadn't
a
I, I
real
hadn't planned this out.
I saw a really good mayo pesto sauce on a show, and they did put it on a tuna steak, and it looked really good. Tuna,
Okay.
tuna, swordfish, shark, probably my rank up there with actual beef steak with me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
People don't understand how good shark is.
No, shark is really good. In any, but it has to be clean and fresh. That's the thing, is that people are get a bad piece of something and then like, oh, that I'll never eat that again. It was terrible. But I mean, it can be cooked wrong. It can just be old. It could be processed wrong. It could just be a bad fish. You come out, it can be processed right. Even the tuna, when you go catch a tuna, they pull on the boat and those guys are like instantly. It has to be killed. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take the insides out and like, but you pull it over the rail, and the gills and everything that will continue to keep it living and seizing and causing the meat to go bad. They take out like within 10 minutes. And then it's gutted and everything's done and it's bled out and then the deck gets cleaned. But that fish is so pure and so clean. After it comes out, it's so nice. I'm just pulling those fillets, going, holy hell, this is gonna be so good. And I'm gonna actually cook it a little tonight. Probably just sear it. From the outside, I might just torch the outside with a little bit of sesame seed on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then do ponzu with onion for that tonight. But I got bluefin belly that I sliced off and tried. Like I'm processing the fish, and I got a bowl of soy sauce and wasabi, another bowl with ponzu and sriracha, and I'm like little pieces, like ridiculous. Kim's like, you can't eat that; it has to be frozen because you're gonna get worms. I'm like, whatever.
Now the soy sauce will kill all that shit.
The wasabi will kill all that shit.
Yeah, fuck
you're
it.
good. Yeah, you're good.
Stomach of stone. Fuck it.
Yeah, cool. Go with your steak.
Yeah, have fun with the tuna.
Cool, brother. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep, for sure. Talk to you guys soon.
See ya. Bye.